Hello, everyone. It's Mr. Spectacular here, and welcome to a bonus episode of Technically Speaking. Today, instead of doing a market overview and looking at the charts, we're going to dive into a specific trade that I posted in our Trading Inner Circle, which essentially, if you don't know, is a private Discord community where I share all the trades that I do. And then if you do your own research and you're responsible, you can jump in and follow along. Now, before we continue, let me throw out a massive disclaimer. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy on the internet, okay? If you're looking for financial advice, contact an accredited advisor. And yeah, treat this as education only. And now my big Polish disclaimer, as I always like to throw it out, don't be an idiot and don't trade like an idiot because you can lose your money. Now that we got this out of the way, here is the chart for Stormex, STMX. Now, to prove to you that I actually did execute this trade and I did actually post it in our community, this is our private Discord channel. So I posted this yesterday at 13:04. Today is 21st of April, just under 12 o'clock. I printed the chart at 20th of April, 12:47. So printed it and posted it about 15 minutes later. So what we're looking at here is the hourly chart for Stormex, because one thing to keep in mind is you trade differently on different time frames. So if you trade on a daily, you have to be willing to sit in the trade longer potentially. However, for some quick scalps, I like to occasionally jump into the hourly time frames. There's guys who literally do it on a minute chart and they're killing it. But for the time commitment that I'm willing to dedicate to it, that's just way too much. So this is the screenshot. So can we zoom in on it? Not really. Yeah, but I'll show you in TradingView how it looks specifically. So we had this big wick right here. And I had one or two candles going down. So let's jump into the actual trading view so I can explain to you my reasoning behind it. So yeah, where the screenshot was, this big wick here. This is this candle right here. And now we are starting to see two candles moving down. So to state up front, I traded short. So that means my bet was that the price was going to go down. And here is the reason why. So if you look at this, we have a very clear range that the price is within. So one, we have this level of resistance here that we couldn't break through before. We also have this nice level of support here and here that it touched for the second time. And for a secondary level of support, we have this line here. So we had some touch points here, some touch points here, some touch points here, broke through, actually broke below it here, got massively rejected. And then this entire move here was on the foundation of this support right here. Now, the reason I decided to go short was twofold. One, because again, we had this massive level of strong support that we got just brutally rejected from. So we got rejected from it here. We got rejected from it here. And we had this massive absolutely massive wick here, which couldn't hold, and the candle closed below the line of resistance. Now, if we zoom in more closely, we already see the price starting to fall right here. So that was my first reason for going short. Now, the second reason is the RSI divergence. So one, as you can see, RSI is pretty high. So it's pretty much overbought and due for a pullback. Secondly, we had this divergence show up right here, which indicated that the momentum was dying out. So that's the reason for going short. Now, how do we manage this trade from the standpoint of one, the stop loss, and two, the take profit level? So let's talk about the stop loss first, because believe it or not, the stop loss is more important than the take profit. Before you enter any trade ever, you have to consider the possibility of you being wrong. So never enter a trade unless you've considered what would happen if you're wrong and the consequence of you being wrong. So we were entering the trade right around this level, and by we I mean me. And I entered this trade around this level. So the price was, if we look specifically at what I posted here, 0.01920. So didn't draw this perfectly, but just about this level here, right on this maybe right about on this candle here when it was starting, or just when this one was finishing, roughly when this one was finishing. So from a proper risk management standpoint, I always want to have a stop loss, because if the trade goes against me and I'm wrong, my whole account can get liquidated if you're trading on perpetuals. If you're just doing spot, but you can't short on spot. So that's another thing. But if you only do spot, again, you'll just be sitting at a massive loss and it's going to be eating away at you. So you might as well sacrifice that small loss, that small percentage, if you've estimated it accurately, and then just carry on with your life, because it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless hanging on to a loss. One, because there's no such thing as things coming back in crypto. Sure, sometimes they do, but if you're trading the small caps, very unlikely. People are just more likely to move on to the next Ponzi. Now, if you want to learn some more in detail about proper trade management and risk management, just shoot me a message on Instagram at it's Mr. Spectacular. Now, from here, so we entered right around this level. With this area of resistance being so strong, my thought process was, okay, if we break above it, it's probably game over. Probably I'm wrong, and this thing is going to turn back around and go up. So just in case we have a big wick, I set my stop loss just a bit above that level of, well, now resistance, possible support in the future. So I set it at 0.1950. Now for the take profit, I didn't think that we would go all the way down to here. So this was a pretty strong area of support in the past. So I was targeting that level just above the recent swing low. So this is our swing low right here. I set my take profits at 0.1830, just above where the wicks were. And as you can see, we got filled in pretty nicely within literally a couple of hours. And then, as you see here, the price perfectly bounced back from the support, which again, I could have, if I was sitting at the computer watching the charts, I could have entered for a long trade, which would have played out pretty nicely. It looks like this thing is starting to go up again, but I won't be trading this right now. Again, RSI is starting to look pretty overbought on the hourly, but that was my thought process behind this trade. And one thing to really pay attention to is the risk to reward ratio. So this green bit here, that's the potential profit that we would make. This red bit here, that's the potential loss. So potential loss, 1%, 1.9%. Potential gain, just under 5%. So our risk reward ratio, 4.17. Would you risk £1 to make 4? Seems like a pretty good deal to me. I'll make that deal all day, every day. Now, you're not always going to get trades with that good of a risk reward ratio, but that is something for you to pay attention to. So if this stuff resonates with you and you'd like to work together, there's a couple ways we can do that. One, you can message me on Instagram at It's Mr. Spectacular. We'll go over your situation and build a custom education package for your situation and your goals. Now, if you've already got the fundamentals and just want to trade, you can join our trading inner circle where I post trades like these for you. So if you look into the Discord, this is exactly what you're going to get. So you get an alert the second I post it, give you some details about the trade, where I'm looking to enter and where I'm looking to get out. And of course, before we finish up, let's do one more disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is education only. You should trade responsibly and always listen to your bank, because they'll pay you 0.01% interest, but at least you'll be safe. So hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below. And that's it, guys. So have a spectacular day. I will see you in the next video.